Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or perhaps I should say, unsettling evening. Tonight's tale is not for the faint of heart, nor, I dare say, for those who value the sanctity of their own minds. What you are about to witness is a curious case of art imitating life. Or is it life imitating something far more unnatural? A miniature, you see, is meant to be a harmless diversion, a tiny warrior, a delicate elf, a dragon no larger than a teacup. But what if the brushstrokes you apply begin to apply themselves to you? What if the thing you paint starts painting you in return? Our story begins innocently enough. A flea market, a curious trinket, a hobbyist with a steady hand. But beware, my friends, for lurking beneath the resin and pigment is a horror as old as the far realm itself. Keep your wits about you, and whatever you do, don't listen too closely to the whispers. Let us begin. The whisper beneath the brush. It started with the miniature, a mind flayer, no taller than my thumb, its slick tentacles curling like worms frozen mid-writhe. I found it at a flea market, tucked in a dusty cardboard box between chipped porcelain dolls and a tarnished silver spoon. The vendor, a wiry man with eyes that darted like flies, didn't haggle. "Take it," he muttered, shoving it into my hands. "It's been waiting." I thought he was just eccentric. I paid the $2 and left, the little resin figure cold against my palm. I paint miniatures as a hobby. Dwarves with axes, elves with bows, dragons with wings spread wide. There's something meditative about it. Hours vanish as I layer colors, tease out details with a fine-tipped brush. The mind flayer, though, felt different from the start. Its surface was smooth, almost oily, despite the dry resin. The sculpted eyes were blank, yet they seemed to follow me as I turned it under the lamp. I've always been fascinated by illithids, mind flayers. They're one of the darkest creations in fantasy lore, inspired by Lovecraftian nightmares. Supposedly, they hail from the far realm, a place where reality unravels and thought itself can become flesh. Illithids ruled once, or so the stories go, a vast psychic empire that spanned dimensions, built on the backs of enslaved minds. They don't kill for pleasure. They feed on thoughts, on memories. To them, we're not people. We're ripe fruit, soft pink minds to be peeled open and devoured. I set the miniature on my desk, sketching out a color palette. Purple for the skin, slick and bruised. Black for the robes, tattered at the edges. White for the eyes, milky blind, yet piercing. The time-lapse camera hummed as I began, recording each stroke for the video I'd post online. I opened my laptop to dig into more lore. I read about ceramorphosis, the way they implant wriggling tadpoles into humanoid brains, letting them grow and overwrite the host's mind until there's nothing left but a shell and the creature inside. They reproduce like a sickness, and at the center of every illithid colony sits an elder brain, a pulsating vat of neural tissue, holding the thoughts and will of the hive, a mind that never forgets. The first night was quiet. I painted the base coat, a deep violet that shimmered wetly under the light. The brush moved easily, too easily. It was like the figure drank the paint, pulling it in hungrily. I narrated softly for the video. The illithid emerges from the shadow, its presence a stain on the air. But my voice on the playback sounded wrong, distant, hollow, like it had come from behind me. By the second night, I noticed the whispers, faint, like static from an untuned radio. They crept into the silence between my breaths. I paused, mid-brushstroke, listening. Nothing. Just the hum of the lamp, the creak of my chair. I shook my head and kept going, detailing the robes with streaks of black. The whispers returned. Chorus of overlapping murmurs, unintelligible, but undeniably present, I turned off the camera, thinking it was interference, but the sound remained. Not from the speakers, from the room. I looked at the miniature. Its blank eyes stared back. I told myself I was tired, but my hands were trembling as I capped the paint. The dreams came that night. I was underground, in a cavern veined with bioluminescent fungi. The air reeked of salt and rot. Ahead, a pool shimmered, dark, still, until it rippled. Something vast shifted beneath the surface. I couldn't see it, not fully. My mind wouldn't allow it. A shape without edges, a thought without form. Then came the voices. No longer whispers, but deafening screams of minds, all speaking at once. I woke gasping. My shirt clung to me, drenched in sweat. The clock blinked. 3:33 a.m. The miniature was on my nightstand. I hadn't moved it there. I should have destroyed it, crushed it, burned it, but I didn't. I sat back at the desk the next day, camera rolling, and picked up the brush. The whispers were louder now, constant, like a radio just below the threshold of understanding. I painted the tentacles, highlighting each curve. I narrated again. The illithid's mind is a weapon, sharper than any blade, peeling away sanity, layer by layer. My voice cracked. I coughed, tasting something metallic. Blood. The time-lapse footage from that session was wrong. I expected to see myself painting. Instead, I sat motionless, staring at the miniature for 37 minutes. The audio crackled with whispers. I rewound it, frame by frame, and saw it. A shadow behind me. Humanoid. Too tall. Its head crowned with writhing shapes. The next frame, it was gone. And yet, I couldn't stop. The worst part wasn't the fear. It was the compulsion. I wanted to finish it. By the fourth night, the painting was nearly complete. I detailed the robes to hang like wet funeral shrouds, the eyes glowing with a sickly green. The whispers became a chant. I began recognizing the words: Gith, Elder, Devour. Terms etched into the lore I'd read. The Gith were their ancient slaves, who rebelled and escaped. The Elder Brains, the true masters of the illithid kind. Entities that remembered everything their kind had seen. I was repeating the lore aloud now. Not reading, not narrating, reciting, as if from memory I didn't know I had. The final brushstroke was like a trigger. I held the miniature to the light. It was perfect. Too perfect. Then I felt it. Not a thought, not a voice. A presence. Cold. Oily. It slid across my mind like something groping in the dark. I dropped the figure. It landed upright, staring. The power went out. Only the painted eyes glowed. The whispers crescendoed into a scream. Mine. The air crushed my chest. Something rose in the room. A silhouette, tall and gaunt. A face of writhing tendrils. Its eyes were blind, but they saw me. I don't remember leaving. Just the road and dawn and the shuddering knowledge that I was not alone in my own head. I uploaded the footage, left the miniature behind, but I still feel it, still hear it. They say illithids don't die. Not really. Their minds linger in elder brains, in echoes, in hosts. I think it found me. I think it's using me now. Through the brush, through the stories I tell, through every miniature I paint, every viewer who watches. If you've watched the video, you've seen it. If you've heard the whispers, run. And so, our unfortunate artist has learned the hard way that some canvases are better left blank. A mind flayer, you see, is never just a model. It is a predator, and the mind is its preferred feast. One wonders, how many of you, at this very moment, have similar curiosities tucked away on your shelves? A harmless figurine? A forgotten relic? I advise you to check. And if you hear a whisper when no one is there, well, you've been warned. Until next time, this is your host, McBabies, bidding you a restless night. Do sleep with one eye open. Or better yet, don't sleep at all. Good night.